Hey, beautiful people. Thank you so much for listening to Faithful Wednesday 2. The goal is to have a better and deeper understanding of the Bible. Before I begin, I want to thank my followers for supporting my evangelism. I thank God that I can use my voice to speak the truth. I'm going to continue on working hard to make better content. Now, today I'm going to discuss the book of Ezra. Before we discuss the book of Ezra, I need to give you some background information. Ezra's name is of Hebrew origin, meaning help or helper. Some sources say that Ezra is a short form of Azaryahu, meaning God helps. Ezra is also the author of Chronicles and Malachi. The book of Ezra and Nehemiah is studied together because they share a common theme of restoring Jewish life after the Babylonian exile. The books cover the same time frame, focus on the rebuilding of the Holy Temple and the reestablishment of religious and social life. Ezra was also a high priest and scribe to the law of Moses. His father, Sariah, was also a high priest and scribe to King David and King Solomon. The book of Ezra also showed that Jeremiah's prophecy was fulfilled after the Israelites served the king of Babylon for 70 years. Ezra doesn't appear until chapter 7. The first 6 chapters focus on the Israelites going back to Jerusalem and rebuilding the Holy Temple. In the first chapter, God stirred up the spirit of King Cyrus to allow the Israelites to go back to Jerusalem after 70 years of captivity in Babylon. He also made sure that King Cyrus put the agreement into writing to make record of it and prevent future disputes and misunderstandings. In Ezra 1:2-3, King Cyrus says, "All the kingdoms of the earth, the Lord God of heaven has given me, and he has commanded me to build him a house at Jerusalem, which is Judah. Who is among you of all his people? May his God be with him, and let him go up to Jerusalem, which is in Judah, and build the house of the Lord, God of Israel. The heads of the father houses of Judah and Benjamin, the priests, the singers, the Levites, The sons of the gatekeepers, the Nethinims, Solomon's servants, women and children, and commoners headed to Jerusalem, and those around them, and King Cyrus encouraged the Israelites with articles of gold and silver, goods, livestock, anything that the Israelites needed to restore Jerusalem. After coming back to Jerusalem, the Israelites built an altar for the God of heaven and offered burnt offerings and prepared annual and anointed feasts. Zerubbabel and Jeshua, the leaders of the Israelites, the priests, the Levites, and the workers began to work on the holy temple in the 2nd month of the 2nd year. While building the temple, their adversaries of Judah and Benjamin heard what they were doing and said to Zerubbabel and the fathers of the houses, "Let us build with you, for we seek your God as you do." But the Israelites from Babylon refused, telling the adversaries that King Cyrus commanded them to build the holy temple. The adversaries tried to discourage the Israelites and hired counselors to frustrate their purpose. But the Israelites kept ignoring them and kept building the holy temple of excellence. During the reign of King Artaxerxes, Rahim, the commander of the adversaries, and Shimshai, the scribe, wrote a letter to the king stating that the Israelites were building a rebellious and evil city, and if they complete the holy temple and the walls of Jerusalem, the Israelites would not pay the king's taxes, and he would not have a dominion beyond the river. After King Artaxerxes read the letter, he wrote back and gave the adversaries permission to stop the Israelites from rebuilding Jerusalem. But that didn't stop the Israelites. After the prophets Haggai and Zechariah prophesied to the people to continue on building the holy temple to honor God's work. While they built the temple, the adversaries tried to stop them again. But the Israelites stood firm and told them that King Darius will resolve this matter. After reading King Cyrus' letter, King Darius made a decree to allow the Israelites to rebuild Jerusalem with no interference. In chapter 7, with King Artaxerxes' decree, Ezra, who had the hand of the Lord upon him, led a new group of Israelites back to Jerusalem to help authorize the law of Moses and set magistrates and judges among the Israelites. After God delivered Ezra and the Israelites from the enemy and stopped an ambush, they finally made it back to Jerusalem. The leaders told Ezra that some of the Israelites married foreign women, mixing the holy seed, which is against one of the commandments. Leviticus 19:19 says, "You should keep my statutes. You should not let your livestock breed with another kind. You shall not sow your field with mixed seed, nor shall a garment of mixed linen and wool come upon you." Ezra was so upset. He took off his garments, snatched some hair off his beard and head, and cried out to the Lord. In Ezra 9:8-10, he said, "And now for a little while, grace has been shown from the Lord our God to leave us a remnant to escape and to give us a peg in his holy place, that our God may enlighten our eyes and give us a measure of revival in our bondage. For we were slaves, yet our God did not forsake us in our bondage, but he extended mercy to us to repair the house of our God, to rebuild its ruins, and to give us a wall in Judah and Jerusalem. And now, O our God, what shall we say after this? For we have forsaken your commandments." While Ezra kept praying, a large assembly of men, women, and children gathered together to cry out to the Lord. Shecaniah, the spokesperson of the Israelites, said, "We have trespassed against our God and have taken pagan wives from the peoples of the land. Yet now there is hope in Israel in spite of this. Now therefore, let us make a covenant with our God to put away all these wives and those who have been born to them." Ezra made the leaders of the Israelites, the Levites, and all Israel swear an oath for the new covenant. They gathered the community of the descendants of the Babylon captivity in Jerusalem. While it was raining hard and the fear of the Lord made the Israelites trembled, they sat in the open square of the holy temple. Ezra stood up and said, "You have transgressed and have taken pagan wives, adding to the guilt of Israel. Now, therefore, make confessions to the Lord God of your fathers and do his will. Separate yourselves from the peoples of the land and from the pagan wives." The Israelites agreed, but they asked the leaders to give each man appointed time to judge their case. Ezra and most of the leaders agreed and settled the matter. Ezra played a crucial role in the restoration after the Babylonian exile. He was able to instill God's law and reintroduce the 5 books of Moses. Leadership and teachings were crucial for the divine connection with God. Ezra had to help the Israelites renew their covenant and enforce obedience to God. The book of Ezra showed the Israelites' struggles to rebuild the holy temple and how they needed to renew fellowship with God. Jeremiah's prophecy was also fulfilled, and God kept his promise. He allowed the Israelites to go back to Jerusalem after 70 years of exile. God moved the hearts of all the kings of Persia, blessed the Israelites with materials and wealth to help rebuild the temple and Jerusalem. God protected the Israelites while they traveled to Jerusalem and stopped the adversaries from destroying their plans. God was faithful and will always watch over his children. I love how Ezra was a powerful intercessor. That showed his true devotion to God and how he deeply cared for the Israelites, especially when he cried out to God about the Israelites' transgressions. Brothers and sisters of God, how do you feel about Ezra? Do you think he did a good job in helping the Israelites make a new covenant? I would love to hear from you. Thank you and God bless.